Let's take a moment and appreciate this fitment one more time. But fitment is not what you guys have come today for. But first, let's go shut these garage doors down. The outside light is very overpowering and it's killing the camera with the car. Wait for it. Camera adjusting. Much better, much better. Lighting, more controlled. I may need some better fixtures up top. But thank you guys for joining today's video. Thank you for coming by and checking it out. All those guys are new that wants to come find out about the seats. Let's go ahead and cover that. First, don't they just look so good in there? Don't they just look so awesome in there? Before we dive deep into how it's been the last 2 years or so of riding in these seats, enjoying these seats, let me go ahead and let me drop a quick TLDR on some flashback stuff. Just summarizing, the playlist I'm gonna link below is the installation of what I went through in order to retrofit these seats into this car. I wanted to make sure it was safe. I wanted to make sure it was a good, proper solution and not a halfway, really quick ratchet, elongate holes and just bolt it in, because that wasn't proper. That's weakening the frame rails and the mounting points and stuff like that. So stay away from me a second. Just do a quick voiceover, do some video clips up from that playlist, and we'll be back. So, I guess enough suspense, right? You probably see it by now. Kind of sitting on it. Yeah, man. We're gonna put some aftermarket seats in the G. But are they really aftermarket seats? Because there's some Nismos. Some Nismo Recaro, boys. Hells yes. I picked up not one, but a pair of 370Z Nismo Recaros. So the bottoms of these are a little different. The bottoms of these are, you could say, probably more OEM style. But so if you look at them, I believe the Jukes will be totally different. The bottoms of the Jukes will be totally different. I had some hearsay. Some people are saying that the G35 planted brackets work. It didn't really fit also well. Let me flip this light over, flip this camera over. So on the driver's side, we got front hole here to match up. We got back hole to match up. All right, that could bolt in right there. The problem is the back over here has to extend, and the front could probably bend. If you see where this could bend down, line it back there. This is hidden into the center tunnel. That's way off, and the front's way off here. So definitely the passenger one is too far off. Let's see, I got the seats back in. But $100, guys. Anybody want $100? Washington area, around the Seattle, Washington area. I'll give you $100. Take your G37 sedan over to Planet Technologies. Let them measure your shit so they can build a bracket. Please, I'll give you $100 for that. Let's see. Oh snap! Yeah, look, it actually has the brand new part number on it. Yeah. He said he don't know if they'll have the SKU number ready when he ships this out. But these are the first brackets for the G37. And you see right here. You gonna focus? G37 planted. So this is a driver bracket. Their website should be updated. But yeah, G37. So you see inside here, we got match, match, we got a match, and a match there. So yeah, they all freaking fit. Yeah, bep. Oh, my light just cut off. Damn. Okay, should have charged that up. One thing with the airbag. More adventures. More adventures. Man, this is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Storms are gonna come in a little bit, so I gotta keep at it. I made these brackets non-returnable. So I chopped off, yeah, look at that disc. I really need a new disc. Chopped off the little seatbelt holder. Let's see if this lines up now. Woo! Update time. Seat's not on the table no more. No, it's not. Man, I'm sweaty as fuck. Woo! It's not. That's because, take a look at that. Driver's side is in, boys. Driver's side is in. I'm flipping. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, and we're ready to get on with the meat of the video. Give you guys the gravy a little bit. What exactly should we start with? Let's start with some pros. One pro is if you guys are using these seats and it's a family car, it's a sedan, you're probably looking to swap this in maybe your G sedan or your G coupe. But for sedan owners, let me park my butt in here. I am 5'9". I'm not the tallest person out there. But look at the legroom. These backs are so much thinner, so much less fluff than the original seats that came in the car. I've probably gained literally a good 5 to 6 inches of legroom. No lie. You can see here from the seat backs. The seat backs don't even pass the B pillar. That's how much space you have. I know some of you are like, come on, man, that's the backseat. Who cares about the passengers? You gotta sometimes care about your passengers. Some of you guys got kids and stuff. It's a daily. It's a four-door car. Okay. Let's move to the passenger side. The passenger side fitment was really good. There's no binding or rubbing of the seat body anywhere. Not even between the console and the car. The seat fits perfectly in there. Passengers should be very comfortable and very bolstered. The back is bolstered just as much as the driver's side, but the leg bolsters are a little more subdued. They're not as aggressive as the driver's side. The rails slide back and forth real easy. A little too easy because it went all the way back a little too easily, too fast. It's snug. It feels really good. You still have a lot of leg room. You have the normal factory leg room that you normally do. It is a tad lower. There's no height adjustment on the passenger side. There is a bottom lumbar adjustment and a back height adjustment on the driver's side. So there's two dials, we'll go over there, I'll show you just now, that you could return. It'll either raise the lumbar up a little bit or it'll raise the back up a little bit. And you could teeter like that. But the passenger side, there's no height. Here's your back adjustment and then you slide. It's simple racing seats. You don't need anything fancy like the stocks. Here are the two dials I was telling you about on the other side. You can see adjustment here. Raises the front of the seat up. This raises the back or lowers it. Side airbag. Shoulder support. Nothing's touching, nothing's interfering. The adjuster. Side console on the leg, on the lumbar support. No interference. And everything. There's no interference and it's really comfortable. No rubbing, no squeaking. Sometimes with aftermarket seats, you kind of worry about how things fit in there. If it's too wide, if it's too narrow, how it holds you. You can see on this angle, the bolster in here is higher than that side. Also, the angle is pitched up more this way and is opened out. So you can see from the driver's side to the passenger side. It's not as tall, not as wide as the driver's side. It works really well. It holds my backside really well. Another positive thing about this seat swap is that these seats are from the same year range as the G Sedan and the G Coupe. Everything plugged right up. I mean everything. The seat belts, the airbags, even the weight sensor on the passenger side to turn the airbag off. The only negative, well, I guess two, but then you don't really use it that much. Well, one of them you may. The biggest negative, if you do have a dual driver per se, is that one, because you're taking the driver's seat out, the modules for the seat memory and also window memory are tied into the same module that's in the bottom of the driver's side's seat. One thing that's livable is not having the heated seats. Yes, it's a luxury car. Heated seats is one of the bonuses of a luxury car. But it's been 2 winters since I've done the swap, and honestly, it would be nice to have it, but because it's cloth, there is some leather, but because it's cloth, it's not really that bad, and it's not really that necessary to have the heated elements in the seats. So I don't really miss that. One thing I could see that could be a negative, a bigger negative, is memory of the window mirrors and the seats. If your car is used by you and your spouse or you and someone else, and you have the seat memories and you interchange, that will be a negative. Because you lose that functionality. Of course you use that functionality because you don't have a mechanical seat, but you lose the functionality of the mirrors because the mirror memory and control also is tied into the same module that controls the memory stuff for the seats. So you lose your control over the mirrors. The motors and stuff, you could actually manually change the mirror a little bit, like rotate it, kind of force it in place, don't break it, but you do lose that functionality of the mirrors. But if this is your own car and that stuff never changes, it's not a problem. I've never had an issue or a time when I was like, darn, I need to change my mirrors. No. I absolutely do not feel the lack of power seats or the lack of power mirror control. So I wouldn't really class that as a huge con. That would be an iffy. And the other thing, the biggest pro is the love the seats give you. Love, I'm telling you, the love. These seats hold you so nice. Now, they may not hold you as good as a set of Juke seats, because like I said in my previous playlist, in the previous install videos, these are the 370 versions. And these 370 versions only differ for the bottom seat. The bottoms on the 370s are OEM Nissan bottoms. The bottoms on the Juke are actually Sportster CS. The entire seat is a Sportster CS with a Nismo appearance package, so to speak. So I would really say the Juke, I've said it many times, the Juke would be more for a weekend car. The 370Z, the lumbar support's beautiful for a daily. It's not too aggressive and it's not too loose. I remember when I first put these seats in and I just sat down in there and it was so welcoming and so loving. It just hugged me every time I went driving, and it just felt so good. Not gonna lie, it just felt so good. Plus, they just look freaking awesome. Sportster CS seats are one of the hottest seats Recaro has right now in terms of looks. They got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of SKUs with different finishes and stitches and stuff like that. And having your manufacturer's tuning company, Nismo, TRD, whatever, on a Sportster seat would be cool. And I said Toyota, whatever, because Recaro makes these seats for all manufacturers. They're STI versions. They were Evo versions. They're not really Evo, because that's a little too old. But they're STIs. I think there's some Honda versions, there's some BMW versions. There's manufacturer versions of these seats across the board. And that's awesome. The other con, I would say, is cost. The cost was high. It's very high. It's very expensive. It's a very sought after seat, and a lot of people have been just whale hunting, throwing prices out there, and people have been paying it. So these seats could be ranged anywhere from $2,000 to $3,500, maybe $4,000 in really, really clean condition. But when you compare the cost of a Sportster seat as itself, you might be able to justify it in certain areas. Another con. This con was a huge con, a huge problem. It was also so very worth it. Installing these seats was such a pain in the butt. Huge pain in the butt. Especially since I had to figure it out. I didn't have a roadmap or a DIY tutorial to follow. I pretty much pulled my factory seats out, flipped these Nismo seats under, and just went exploring. They didn't have any rails for this car. I begged a couple people in Washington to take the car to Planted to get measured. Nobody did. Had to pay a dude $100 to go get his car measured so I could get aftermarket rails for this car. So it was a learning experience. It was fun. Huge pain in the butt. But as I slowly moved my head to the side and reveal the Nismo, it was so worth it. So worth it. I was fantasizing over this swap for at least 6-8 months before I was able to find a set and do it. I was harassing the guys, I was bugging them, I was telling them, I want these seats, I want these seats. I don't care what it is, I'm gonna get them, put it in. Huge pain in the butt, huge! But so worth it, guys. 100% worth it. In terms of purpose, you guys have seen so many of my videos, so many times I am driving around, taking those corners, upshifting, downshifting, and these things hold me. They hold me so well. So in terms of function and form, perfect, 100, they work beautifully. They work beautifully. In terms of fit, they fit beautifully. They don't interfere with anything. Everything plugged up. I ain't got no Christmas tree lights going on in my dash. There's no ABS lights. There's no seatbelt fault lights because seatbelt sensors plugged right in. In terms of usability, it's very usable. There's no problem adjusting anything, sliding, moving. Usability is there. Overall, this swap was one of the most pleasant drivability mod I've done to date. When I first bought the car, I did a short shifter, I did the clutch pedal, the RJM clutch pedal was a huge improvement over the factory feel. But these seats were another level. I love these seats so much. They look so damn good in the car. I was worried about the red on the red, but it fits so well. It looks so well. It's just beautiful. I cannot say anything negative about it. Let's look at that right there. and my messy back wall. I really need to figure out what I gotta do about this messy garage. I need to purge, get rid of a bunch of clutter. Anyhow, there's a lot of people that have asked me if it's worth it and if I would do it again. And after these things I told you all about the problems I went through, the different cons and stuff like that, I gotta say, abso-freaking-lutely, I will 100% do this swap again. There's absolutely no reason why I would not do this. If I'm selling this car, these seats are not going with it. I am putting the factory seats back in, and I'm keeping these. In fact, I love these seats so much, I'm actively looking for a pair of diversion Jukes for the 510 build. So if you can find, if you can find a set of those and let me know, and the price isn't too like far-fetched and out there, let me know. Cause I'm looking at old school Recaros that are awesome, like S3Rs or SR3s or whatever. The C19 vid tax on them right now is so darn high that I might as well pay the extra money and get the Juke Sportsters and put that in the 510. That car has resto modded. That car has so much modern technology in it that a modern seat, I think, will just be the icing on the cake. That digital dash, that modern seat. So if you guys know, have a link on a reasonably priced, that's, that word right now doesn't exist in this market. Not only this economy, this market, this collector's market that has just blown out of proportion. But we're getting off topic. We're talking about the seats. And we're talking about the seats. And I could 100% truly tell you to do it. If you have the means, if you want to put in the work and convert them, do it. It's one of the best things, one of the most happiest things I've done. It feels so good. It makes me feel so good. It makes the car feel so good. It looks so good. I'm a function, form over appearance person. But just look at them in the background. Just look at that. Look how beautiful they are. There's absolutely nobody I would turn this mod away from. I've seen other seats in these cars. They look cool. They fit well and stuff like that. But if you have to do it, I would just say just pull the trigger and you get one of these. It's absolutely one of my favorite things about the car. There's so much nice things about the car. I enjoy drivability mods a whole lot. It doesn't make sense having a car that has so much power, so awesome and stuff, and it's just terrible feel to drive. You just don't want to drive it. Drivability mods are a huge part of my life and a huge part of my driving habits and my enjoyment. And these seats definitely has helped increase that percentage of love. So, I really hope I didn't ramble on. I didn't want to do a drive-in video to take away from anything. I just wanted to do a really nice talking head video of what I've experienced, how I feel, what you should look at, and everything. And I do appreciate you guys sticking on if you're so far into the video. I love you guys for doing that, for watching the whole thing through. I hope it was helpful. If it was, don't forget, throw that like, hit a comment. Let me know if you think these are worth it. Hit a sub. Until next time, guys. Y'all have a good one. Later.